I'm just so excited to introduce Nisse Greenberg. Give it up. Hey guys. I'm gonna tell you about the first panic attack I had. I went to get this bike off of Craigslist in Queens, so I had to go up there, and it was the perfect bike for me. It was $50. That was the big check, and it was a women's cruiser, which I like because I like a cruiser because. Like I have to be on my computer all day, and I don't want to be. If I gotta be hunched over, I want to. If I'm gonna bike to work, I want to. And I like a women's cruiser because I like a men's cruiser. The bar goes all the way to the top part. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And then like a women's cruiser like dips down. I don't understand why. That doesn't feel gendered to me. It doesn't make any, I like to step over like this. I don't feel like I need to prove something and go like this just every time I get on a bike. I don't feel, and so I go out to really Queens, and it's not just Queens, I have to take 2 subways and then I have to get a walk to a bus that then I take to another bus and then I knock on this guy's door, and he opens the door, and this is how he answers the door. He comes out and he goes, "Yeah, you here for the bike?" And I understand that when you're trying to buy something, and the person who's selling it to you doesn't look you in the eyes at all and whispers a lot, that is a red flag. I eat red flags for breakfast. I love them. So I say, show me all the bikes you've stolen. It doesn't come out like that. It comes out more like, I'm bicycle. And he understands and shows me around back, and there's just this pile of 50 bikes, some broken locks, and he's like, "So you want this one?" And he points to what is a reasonable choice for me, the right size and everything, and I go, "Oh no, I'm actually interested in the ladies' cruiser," and he finishes that one out, and he's already apologizing by the time he gives it to me. He's like, "Oh, you can you can grease it up, you get some oil, you can lift the seat, just get a wrench with that seat." And I'm like, yeah. I know how to do all of those things, absolutely. And in my head, I'm like, my dad didn't teach me anything. I'm not a real man. Why did I don't know how to do anything? I don't know what tool I think he said wrench. What type of wrench? Oil? Is there bicycle oil? Is there a bicycle oil that I can buy? Do you just use canola oil or crude oil? Is that what crude oil is? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna test out the bike. Thank you, I'll test it out. And I get on, and it's immediately, this is not the right bicycle. My knees are in my face, and I get on it. And when I pedal, it's like a infinite Jack in the Box. And I feel like I need a moment to gather my thoughts. I need to understand what I need to say to him. I need to tell him I don't want the bicycle. So I'm practicing how to say this, how to be polite. I'm sorry, sir. Thank you for your time, but I'm not interested in your bicycle. That's too formal. I can't say that. I'm it's been a really great pleasure meeting you, but I'm actually not. That's dumb. I'm not starting a friendship. Just be normal. Yo, bro, thanks for. I don't say bro. What am I doing? This isn't me. What am I doing? I'm biting. Ching clunk, ka-ching clunk, ka-ching clunk. I'm trying to think through what I'm gonna say. And then I start feeling rain patter onto my hands, and I look up, and it's very ominous. It's those clouds are gonna be right there soon, and they have a lot of water in them. And then I started thinking, like, oh no, like, I'm gonna give him back his bicycle, and then I have to walk all the way to that bus stop again, which had like no covering, and I don't know when the next bus in like this part of Queens is. It's gonna be like 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to take that bus to another bus that had no covering, and then I have to take that to an air-conditioned summer because it's summer, to go 2 hours back home to my apartment in Brooklyn, and I'm gonna get a cold because I'm gonna be in the area. I don't want the sniffles. I just don't want the sniffles. So I'm like freaking out about that until I think of, I got the solution. I'm gonna buy the bicycle, and then I can bike to the subway, beat the rain, and then get in there, go home, Google how to fix it, flip the bike. I could sell this for $100 if I fix it up. You know, I could flip this, get an extra 50. I just spent about 1/8 of my savings on this bicycle. It's gonna be a 1/9 after I'm done with this. Do the math, it works out. So I run back to him and I'm like, looks great, and he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, $50. I give it to him and I start going, just and I'm like really pedaling for it, and I realize like it's pretty far to the subway actually, because I took 2 buses, and one of them crossed a highway, and so I have to go like over a highway, but it's like where the exits come, and there's like cars like really speeding, and it's like one of those curbs that's like 3 feet up, or at least it feels 3 feet up when I like get to it, and that's right when the clouds hit, and they just are like, ha-ha, boom, and I'm soaked, like immediately, and I can't see, and I'm like biking on this like 3-foot high curb, just, and there's like water just like on my brow, just like pouring down, I can't see anything, and I'm just, pop, and I just see that my front wheel just stops, and I like flip over the handle, I'm flying over, and I like pulling my body so that I like land not in front of all the cars, and I like smack down on my back right into this like puddle of like wetness and tears and my sadness and like what's wrong with me, and I just like lay there, and the bike is like flies on top of me and like lays on top of me, and right where I was, the like stoplight was like right there, and so this woman was like stopped at the stoplight like 5 feet away from me, and I go through this like death-defying, like I'm gonna like lose my entire life, and I look up at her, and this is what her reaction was ugh. Which really made me like question what just happened, and I think the reality is what actually happened is pop, for like a really long time. But now I have a pop tire, and I'm defeated, just so defeated. So I just walk to the subway, just, you know, when you're like, it can't get any better. I go to the subway, get in the subway, and I go back to not my home, because I don't know, I don't really have a home at this moment in my life. I'm like crashing at my girlfriend's place. It shouldn't really be a surprise given the rest of the story. And I, like, as I'm on the subway, I realize, like, I didn't buy a bike lock, because, like, I didn't plan ahead, which also, if you have been paying attention, obviously I didn't buy a bike lock ahead of time. So I'm like, I have to go back to my girlfriend's place with her 4 roommates, and, like, I'm a professional moocher, and if you're a professional moocher, you know you don't take up space. And I can't bring, like, a wet, flat tire bike into their, like, tiny Brooklyn apartment with 4 roommates. So I just like bring it into the foyer of the whole apartment building, and I leave it there, and I'm like, I'll deal with it tomorrow. And I go in, and don't tell her about any of this, and I'm like, I don't know who's buying from the foyer. And every day I go to work, and when I wake up, I wake up and I work at this coffee shop, and I see the bike as I leave. And I go, okay, when I get home from work, I'm gonna take it to the bike shop, and then I go work my shift at the coffee shop, I come home, and I look at the bike and I go, oh my God, I'm gonna have to take it to like the place, and the guy with like the ear gauges is gonna be like, well, you don't know how to change the tube and tie. And I'm like, I don't know, it's too scary. So I just don't. Day 1, day 2, goes like 7 days, and then I just go, this is like, I can't leave it in the hallway anymore, so I just take it out to the curb and I just put it there. And I go to work. And that day, I'm walking home from work, just like thinking about like, what's stupid? Wow, I'm dumb. I'm a dum-dum. And I'm walking down Fulton Street, and it's a busy street. It's like a double parked cars type of street. And I'm walking home and I'm thinking about like dumb I am. And I look up and there's this guy biking down this like very busy street with like double parked cars everywhere, and he's not even holding the handlebars because he's holding a second bicycle as he's biking. He's biking and also holding a second bicycle. And I start feeling myself like just breathing in, like I'm only breathing in now, and like my heart, like I really notice I have one of those and it's really beating. I can like sense that it is beating, and then like all of my peripheral vision just starts to like tunnel in, and all I can see is just this little hole in my vision that can only straight, and I can't turn left or right, and all I can think in my head is like, what is wrong with you? You can't accomplish anything. You're not an adult. You're never gonna be an adult. You don't know how to make a thing. You don't know what you are. You don't know how to be a person. This guy can bike 2 bicycles, and you're like you can't even like go. You can't even you don't even know. You can't even tell a man you don't want a bicycle. Like, you're fucking pathetic. And I'm just repeating this over and over in my head for 4 miles. I walked 4 miles without turning left or right, until finally the sort of like vision starts to come back, my breathing starts to settle, and I go home. And that was my first panic attack, which is like embarrassing, because like there's like war happening like all the time now, and like that was too much for me. Like that. I look like this. I get to go through the world being like, here's an opportunity. Oh, you fucked it up, here's another one. And that was too much for me. I don't know. Thank you.